Namaste and welcome to Brahmanic Astrology channel and welcome to yet another episode of Friday live Q&A wherein we discuss your questions. If you have any queries, questions, I read them and I answer them. Okay. So before we start the session, please confirm the audio and the video. Great. So how are you guys? Namaste. So, who are all live here? Dev Prakash Gupta, yes. Karan, namaste. You can just put hi or namaste into the comment section so that I would know who are all on the live stream. And if anybody is new here, just type in new. If anybody is for the first time, just type in new and you can introduce yourself as well. Welcome to the community. Okay, so this is Karan is saying hello, namaste, and Roshan Kumar, namaste, namaste Roshan Kumar ji. Saujanya, namaste sir, how are you doing? I'm great. Thanks for asking this question. Okay, so now if you want to know more about, if you have any queries, please share them. We'll take them one by one and start today's session right away. Sinimol, namaste. Sonal Datta, namaste. Thank you. Thank you for attending this live session. Yes, please share your questions so that we can jump in directly into the question. How does a debilitated and retrograde Mars behave? Okay, first of all, when Mars gets debilitated, you have to see the nakshatra and see for the cancellation of that nakshatra as well, like cancellation of the debilitation, not nakshatra. Okay, and for that you need to know the Navamsha pada for that planet. Okay, but when Mars is debilitated, it feels frustrated because he is all about energy, and Cancer is all about feeling things. Mars is goal oriented and disciplined and a go getter. He doesn't care about the emotions. He is ruthless in a way because he's competitive and aggressive to get what he wants in life. Okay, so this is how the debilitation of Mars works. And when that planet goes retrograde, uh, along with being debilitated, it becomes even more strong. Okay, and it also gives you it gives you success in material things. Okay, but debilitation and retrogression, when it is together, it doesn't cancel it. It need not cancel it. For cancellation, you need to check the Navamsha, you, you need to check the conjunctions. Let's say you have Cancer, Mars conjunct with Cancer Jupiter or Cancer Moon, not Cancer Moon, but more so about Cancer Jupiter. So it becomes a Nicha Bangaraji. Okay, but when you have Mars and Mars debilitated and retrograde, it becomes powerful. So check for the lordship of the Mars in your birth chart. If you are Leo ascendant or Aquarius, not Aquarius, Leo or Cancer ascendant, then it becomes a Yoga Karaka planet for you as well. Even better and powerful. So this is how this debilitated and retrograde Mars behave. For Cancer ascendant, for Cancer ascendant, Venus Mahadasha 27th December, 27 degrees in ninth house. How will be Venus Mahadasha? Moon also in Pisces. Comments on Sadesati versus Mahadasha. In fact, I have already made a video on Sadesati versus Mahadasha. Let me see if I can pull that for you. Okay, so you can just watch this video here. Okay, Roshan Kumarji, I have just shared this video with you. You can go and watch this video. This will really help you. Arnab Roy. So Jupiter in the fourth house, Capricorn, and Saturn in the sixth house in Pisces. Does it making Parivartan Yoga and what are its effects? Yes, it is making Parivartan Yoga. And when there is an exchange between these houses, it shows the stability of your mind. Okay, but it won't come easily. You will face a lot of strength. You will apply yourself to develop your strength because sixth house is your continuous work. Okay, but yes, it is a Parivartan Yoga and it gives you good results. Okay, ex-winter. How does retrograde Saturn with Moon in Taurus behaves? Is Moon strong here? Yes, it depends on uh, what is your okay, and Moon in the sign of Taurus gets exalted and does great. So let's say you have Taurus ascendant, then Moon itself is in the uh, exaltation in ascendant, and Saturn is also Yogakaraka planet for Taurus ascendant. So here Moon and Saturn both become strong. So Saturn in the ninth house, Pisces ascendant, Anuradha nakshatra. Okay, what about that? It shows that you have a lot of karma around the friends. You will have very little friends, and you have very little friends because of your belief systems. You're restricted in your friend circle because of your belief system. You believe in certain things, that's why you have very less friends. But at the same time, this Saturn will also guard you against any enemies. You don't have to worry about enemies. Saturn will take care of them. You don't have to react to your enemies. Okay. Viloshana. How does debilitated Venus in the second house in D9 chart in Hasta Nakshatra gives beautiful wife? No. Also, how does exalted and retrograde planting works, for example? We talked about it, right? I already made a video on factors which affect the longevity of a person. There are at least hundreds of factors which impacts the longevity of a person. The first thing is the eighth house and the eighth house lord, and the first house, the physical body, the strength of the first house and its lord, and the connection between these two houses. Because the first one is your physical body, and eighth one is your uh, longevity. Okay, but there are almost 20 to 40 criteria to check the longevity or the length of the longevity and so on. Okay, how does retrograde Jupiter behave in the third house in Aquarius? We already made a video on Jupiter retrogradations. Yes. So what does it mean in case of Moon in ninth, Saturn and Rahu in 10th, 7 and 8 house empty? I don't know, because I don't know your ascendant and what's happening with your 8th, ninth, and 10th house. I'm just putting in that link of Saturn Mahakasha video. Yes. Saturn Mahakasha versus Saturn. Yes, now you will see that here. Okay, so we're talking about the yes. Let's check this question. So 10th lord in the 8th house, lot of career breaks. Any remedies? In fact, it is also 11th from the 10th. So though there would be breaks, it will also bring in some gains for you as well. And I don't know any remedy that really works. Okay, so I don't offer any remedies. I don't offer any puja, upay, gemstones, nothing. Uh, okay, so apologies for that. MS sending love from Australia. Thank you. Do you have any questions? Please share. Pawan Kalyan, what are the results of retrograde Venus in the second house Pisces? Yes, it is exalted and what are the chart combination for the famous hackers? You should check for his Mercury first and 12th house and 8th house. Retro Jupiter, second house Libra. What are the chart combination for social media icon? It's similar to that of things which will look for the popularity, like the seventh house, the 10th house, Rahu especially. These are the important things to look for. Rahu in Leo especially is a very good placement for success in social media or films. Okay, I've seen that Rahu in the sign of Leo does great than any other Rahu, mostly. So yes, I would say Rahu in Leo is a good combination for social media icon. Jupiter in the 10th house, Cancer. Excellent. Libra ascendant. How does Saturn in the 5th house affect marriage in the D1 chart? When you have Saturn in the 5th house, it really puts a lot of responsibilities towards your children. Okay, it makes you work towards your children, and your marriage is also, wherever certain aspects, it brings in its element of restriction and the responsibilities. So you sometimes might feel burdened because of your marriage, because a lot of responsibilities are there. This is how it will affect you, and it will also delay the marriage. Okay, but delay doesn't mean denied, or doesn't define the quality of the marriage once you are in a relationship. Okay, so don't confuse these two things. What can we say about Gemini ascendant in Navamsha with Jupiter retrograde in the 7th house, being Maraka and Bhadrashta? I don't know. So date of birth, please don't share this birth timings here. How to read Rahu conjunct Sun in the 12th house lagna chart? But Rahu conjunct Sun placed in chalit chart. Yeah, that's what we have to look for, the chalit chart as well. Chalit chart is the real placement chart because that's a bhava chalit chart. Okay, bhava literally means house, so that is the real placement of your houses. So, what some positive points of 12th lord in the 12th house? There are, whenever a planet or the lord is in its own house, it operates on its higher level. It does great into the same house. So when 12th lord is in the 12th house, first it shows that you will have some spiritual element into your life. Okay, but most importantly, how this will behave is, there are two criteria, two things to look for. First is your ascendant, and second is who is ruling the 12th house. The Saturn ruling the 12th and in 12th would be different versus, let's say Moon in the Cancer in the 12th, or let's say Mars in the Aries in the 12th. Why it is different? Because it because the Rashis he's ruling would be different, and its placement and its nature is also different. Okay, so let's say you have Aries into the 12th house and Mars is placed in here. You have to conserve your energy because the planet of energy is going into the house of loss. Okay, or let's say you have Mercury placed into the sign of Virgo in the 12th house. It shows you have some unique logic, abstract things, and that's how you get the guidance in your life. Okay. Mars in the 7th house is similar to Venus conjunct Mars. In a way, you can say, because when we say, see, the conjunction of the actual planets is way more powerful than these considerations. But yes, whenever we are applying any technique or using any technique in astrology, I usually prefer to apply it to the Aries ascendant, because that's the natural horoscope, and natural horoscope is magical. Okay, so those who are watching this, do this exercise, read any, take any planet, okay, and just go to the Aries ascendant and see where it gets exalted and where it goes in its own sign, and why that house, why Jupiter gets exalted into the 4th house and not some 10th, 8th, 12th house for Aries ascendant. What is the significance of Aries ascendant? Because the first house is in the first Rashi. Okay, first Rashi is in the first house. So all the lords are in their same houses. Okay, so the beauty about this is whenever you learn a technique and apply it to the Aries ascendant, it will give you deeper insights into the astrological concepts. Okay, you might overlook this as a simple technique, but I use it personally and it gives magical result. This is the difference between a good astrologer and the best astrologer or a genius astrologer, because he knows a lot of things and he can apply and pull them at the right time and apply it on the chart. Okay, so answering your question, yes, in a way it is similar to the seventh house. Why? Because in the natural horoscope, the Libra is ruling the seventh house. So Mars in the seventh house, you can consider it as Mars in Libra, which is ruled by Venus, and in a way it can be considered as conjunction. But it is far more powerful if you have Mars literally conjunct with Venus in your D1 chart in any of the placements, in any of the Rashis, and any of the houses. Make sense? So yes, you're on the right track. You should always use the Aries ascendant, and you will have great results. So what happened? Mercury and Rahu in Aquarius in the seventh house in D9 chart. We are not discussing about the D9 chart here. Okay. Venus Ketu conjunction in the 11th house from Mula ascendant. Okay, so it's in the sign of Libra if you have Mula ascendant. So I have already made a video on Venus conjunct Ketu. I'm just pulling that video for you. Okay, so just go and watch this video. Yes, go and watch this video, which will really give you greater insights about what's happening with Venus Ketu conjunction. But don't think it's a bad conjunction, it's a very good conjunction. There are many things to appreciate for this and few challenges. I've already discussed this in that video. Namaste sir, Mercury Venus conjunction in Magha nakshatra gives how much struggle for Libra ascendant? I'm not able to visualize it right now, but Venus Mercury conjunction is a very good conjunction in fact. Okay, and just because it is into the 12th house, 12th lord doesn't mean it's bad. Okay, now let's go to the next question. Rahu conjunct Sun in the 12th house in Lagna chart, but placed in 11th house in Chalit chart. Yes, so consider it as in the 11th house. So what the effects of Rahu in the first house in Aries ascendant? I've already made a video on that. What aspects gives a person sexual magnetism and appeal? Okay, there are a lot of things to look for. Of course, there is involvement of Venus, but at the same time, what I have observed is whenever there is a conjunction between Venus and Mars, Venus and Rahu, uh, or Venus and Mars conjunct, and all these are trined with the Uranus. Let's say whenever I see, I don't usually use the Uranus, but there are few placements and few of the combinations of Uranus which I really use it. Okay, and when I see the Venus trine to the Venus Mercury conjunction, it gives the magnetism, it gives the sexual appeal. Okay, or association of Venus with the Rahu also gives you appeal. But for that, you need to check the seventh house as well as there is one concept called as Arudha Lagna. Okay, you also have to check that. But yes, these are the few placements which shows an uh, magnetism and appeal. So, what are the effects of? We discussed that effects of combust seventh lord. In fact, I've already made a live stream in the previous. I don't remember the number, but you can always refer to that, wherein we have discussed about the combustion retrogression of planets. So my Venus is in Jyeshtha nakshatra and Libra Vishakha nakshatra ascendant, Moon in Kritika. Okay, what about these? I did not get your question. Chatterjee. Rahu, Venus conjunct in the 10th house in D10. Sagittarius rising in D10 and Saturn retrograde conjunct with Mercury. It's very difficult to predict anything without looking at your chart from D10. Okay, D10 is nothing but the 10th division of the Rashi, 10th Amsha, Dasha Amsha. Dasha is 10, Amsha is the division. The 10th division of the Rashi is the Shamsha. So any placement in the Shamsha, I usually analyze it in D1 first. Okay, then go for the D10. So just sharing this here, I'm not able to visualize this. Saturn Rahu conjunction in the fourth house indicates. Okay. Namaste, Goga Donim. Thank you. Namaste. Goga Domin. What are the plans? In fact, you should go and watch my video of empty houses. I've already made a video on empty houses where I have shared all these questions. Okay. What happened? 12th Lord Mars in the fourth house. You. Seventh Lord Venus in Chitra Nakshatra for Aries ascendant. Okay, sir, kindly mention some good astrology books for learning Vedic astrology. You should definitely read the books of B.V. Raman and Kendra. Just go and search on Amazon and you will get hundreds of books. There are books with names of uh, 300 yogas and all the uh, how to read chart volumes by B.V. Raman and uh, Kendra books. They are amazing. They will really help you to get you started. You don't even need to watch the YouTube videos. Is Aries conjunct Jupiter Saturn ninth house can produce severe anger issues of good soldier? I'm not able to visualize this. Yes, Chinmay, ask your question. Chinmay, you have some question? Please ask that question. I'm waiting for your question. What makes Moon conjunct Venus so attractive? I have cited Moon conjunct Venus in the first house. Does this? What does Uttarashada rising signify? Go and watch my video on Uttarashada. It's a beautiful nakshatra. You will see all the qualities of that nakshatra into that person when it is into the ascendant rising. What does the degree 0127 Rahu Grahan Yoga stand? Yes, it is still a conjunction. Whenever you see a planet and they are far away from it, or whether they're closely lit, always check for the conjunction of those planets, and also the direction of that planet, whether it is moving towards the sun or is moving away from the sun is very important. Okay, so guys, this was it. If you have any other question, you can put them into the comment section of this video. I will reply to it. Most definitely, I would reply to it. And uh, I'll be conducting a free live training in next couple of weeks, maybe on Navamsha. Okay, just like we did the free live training for 3 hours, I'll be teaching you about the Navamsha into that course, into that live workshop. Okay, so stay tuned in, or if you are on my email list, you will most definitely receive the details of it. The training would be totally free. Okay, you will get that, and it would cover everything about the Navamsha. You don't need to get the paid thing. Okay, it's not like that, 3 hours I'll be teaching something and will sell you something. No, I'll be selling you, but if you want it, okay. But those who are really seeking that knowledge, they will get it for free. Okay, downloads will be available to my students, the course students, coaching students. Those only will get the recordings, but everybody would be able to. Everybody would be able to learn for free. Okay, and that will really help you. Okay, so yes, this was the announcement I wanted to make. See you.